Hello everyone, and welcome back to another one of these videos. We're going to be talking a bit about TCM Massacre game in this video. So first of all, leave a like or dislike by the end of this video, okay guys? And hopefully you enjoy to some extent anyways. And yeah, consider subscribing as well. Okay, so I'm just going to get right to it. So yeah, TCM Massacre game is coming out. It could be this year, it could be next year, but I'm not going to be talking about the release date and when that will be. Essentially, at least not in this video. I've looked over a couple of videos that have had new information about the game straight from Gun Media themselves, and I just wanted to talk a bit about that information that was shared for a while in this video. So the information that was shared in the videos that I've watched, so I've read on Reddit as well about this information, some of it, and sources where you can actually find this information about the game, right? So it's going to be different to Friday the 13th, the game, right? I think we all know that. However, it got confirmed that this game is going to be either a three, well, it's not really a confirmation. It's just kind of a hint, a pretty obvious one, so it probably will be confirmed very soon, essentially, right? It hasn't been confirmed yet, but it probably will get confirmed fairly soon, right? There's a hint in a video where some guy talks about the game. His YouTube name is Cam Facer, so that's at his channel name. You guys probably know about his channel. If you don't, just searching Cam Facer and he should come up there. He talks about this game as well, and he covers a lot of stuff about this game, right? Since it got confirmed. So yeah, in one of his last videos, he shows that on a registration plate of a vehicle in what will probably be the map in this game, it says TCM. Well, it says 1974. TCM for Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Or 1973. I think it's 1973 because I think the game is going to be based on the events coming up to, I think it's going to be coming up to the year everything happened in 1974 for the movie. And this, like the registration plate, basically just shows 1973 TCM, and then 3 versus 4, right? 3 something like that. 3 versus 4, 3 something 4. In other words, it's going to be 4 people and 3 people, right? So either 3 killers and 4 survivors, which is what I'm assuming it will be, or vice versa. 4 killers and 3 survivors. Now I really hope it's not going to be like that. And the reason I say that is because, I mean, it's in the name, it's in what you're saying, like, 3 versus 4. I mean, it makes sense for it to be 3 killers, 4 survivors. That's why 3 is first. It's not 4. It doesn't say 4 versus 3. I'm pretty sure it says 3 versus 4. So just put 3 killers in and 4 survivors, right? We know it's not going to be 7 survivors just running around the place like Friday the 13th the game, like, and then trying to fix cars, fix the phone box, like running around waiting to get killed, random, just running around, not doing anything for anyone. And then, of course, they just rage quit. Irrelevant information. But I'm just saying, it's like, it's not going to be 7 people just running around the map trying to do different things. This game is going to be very different with the playstyle. And from the things that I've sort of heard and read, like the information that I've seen, it's basically going to be very. It seems like it's heading in the direction so far as Dead by Daylight. I don't know if it's going to be a Dead by Daylight clone. I really hope not, because I didn't enjoy that game. I don't enjoy that game. I don't play that game, but I have played it. I just don't play it at the minute because it's. I don't know. That's a different, topic altogether. But I mean, in fairness, like the game sounds very similar to that idea. To the game, like it's not an idea. Dead by Daylight is a game, and it's people play it now, so it's not an idea. I mean, like when I say an idea, I mean that seems to be the direction that they're going in. So they want to copy that idea. Maybe not copy it, but essentially just in a literal sense. But I mean, how many characters are in Dead by Daylight? 4, 5? I don't think there are 7. I'm just gonna say that now. I know there's 1 killer per match. With what, 4 survivors? Fair enough. I mean, it's 4 versus 1. I think, yeah, I'm pretty sure that's how it's always going to be. In terms of the game mode, I mean, with this game, you have a family of cannibals, right? You have a family of, antagonists here. So playing as each of them makes sense. Not just in theory, but realistically too. Like it makes sense. Like they're characters in the original movie, so why not be able to play as them, right? That makes sense. I don't know. I'm interested to see what the game is going to end up being like. Obviously there's Friday the 13th the game, and these are the same developers working on this one, so who worked on Friday the 13th the game. So it's kind of hard to imagine how this type of game would, be like, at least on a next gen system, or just nowadays, something that's not on like the Nintendo 64 or something. I don't know. I know there was an original game of Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I'm not sure if the console that it was on was a Nintendo 64. I think it might have been a Nintendo 64, or it could have been some other old console. But yeah, I know there was an original version, like a retro style sort of thing, and I'm pretty sure you play it as Leatherfaces as opposed to the survivors, right? The survivors side of things. So, like, obviously, you would have to be able to play as survivors in this game, right? It just makes sense, right? It's a versus sort of thing. So 4 versus 3, 3 killers. Let's say it's metaphorically 3 killers and 4 survivors, right? You're probably gonna have different things you have to do to escape if you want to survive, that sort of thing. It probably won't be too complicated in terms of the tasks you're going to have to complete. Like maybe fix up a pickup truck or steal one of the cannibals' pickup trucks. I don't know. Vehicles, whatever vehicle they own. Or vehicles they own. It'll probably be a pickup truck or something like that. I doubt it'll be a BMW, something like that. It'll probably be some rusted old pickup truck. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like I said, I'm interested to see what this game will actually have in terms of content as well. Like, what would the content be? It would probably be something like, they're basing the game on the 74 movie, so whatever was in the 74 movie, from what I can remember anyway, the game will probably have that stuff. Like, I don't know. I don't really know any examples. Perhaps it's been a while since I watched the movie, and most people have probably watched it a bit more than me. Honestly, I wouldn't call myself a fan of the movies. I don't particularly like them, but I mean, I have reasons for that. I'm not going to go into that now because that would be irrelevant, right? But yeah, I want to see what this game is like. Simply because it's a survival type of game, right? And honestly, even if I don't like the movie that the game is based on, which this happens to be in this case, like this game happens to be based on a movie that came out in 1974, right? So people don't watch the movie and expect everybody to fight against the killer, right? Everybody's the victim in this movie. So that's a different direction, right? So you don't watch this movie, in other words, to expect, boom, 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 like the characters to fight back against the killers. It's not. It doesn't work that way. At least not with this franchise, right? This movie series. There's a couple of movies in the series, right? 6 or 7 movies or whatever, possibly more. I don't know. Well, let's say that's the average amount, right? That's roughly how many movies there are. Like, are they going to put content in the game that we saw in all those movies? Or are they going to just, obviously, that would have to be after the game comes out by like a couple of months. I don't know. First of all, they're basing it on the 1974 movie, so the stuff that was in the movie is probably going to be in the game. So there have been a couple of characters confirmed. I'm not sure if the main girl, I believe her name is Sally, from the 1974 movie. Maybe she was confirmed. I don't know. Maybe she was. I think I might have read something about her being confirmed, or else it was someone else that got confirmed for the game. But if it's then it would probably have to be the actors voicing themselves, their own characters, right? If they haven't passed on already, because 1974, like they're not all gonna be alive, right? Or even if they are, they're probably gonna be very old at this point, like in their 80s or 90s even. So yeah, 1974 was over 40 years ago. Like, it's just, yeah. I do want to see what they do with this game and how far they get, because what happened with Friday 13 obviously should not have happened. I don't want the same thing to happen to this game if it actually ends up being good. And the main thing I want this game to have, I talked about it in one of my last videos like this, but where I talked about the game a bit. That was combat. That was the topic for one of the last videos, among other things. for the game, that I want to see in the game. Now, combat has been mentioned by a couple of people, a couple of YouTubers, the developers. They haven't really mentioned that many things. They have said that it's going to be like, it's not really going to play a big role in the game. I'd like to say it that way because I think that's what they mean by what they said, right, about the topic. But, like, I don't know, I mean, I can sort of understand why it's not going to be a main thing. I mean, you can beat Jason up, like, a lot in Friday the 13th, the game, right? So, with this one, it's not going to be like that at all. It's going to be very different. Like, there's not going to be a bunch of survivors beating on the killer. It's just not going to work like that. There's going to be 3 killers and 4 survivors. I understand that. Probably. It's probably going to work that way anyway. Maybe 4 killers, but that would be too much. Because 3 survivors, like, what are 3 survivors supposed to realistically do, you know? In my opinion, guys, I'm going to be honest here. I think this game's going to be very overpowered either way. It doesn't matter if it's 1 killer against 5 survivors. Look, it depends how the game is made, right? And honestly, 5 or 6 survivors against 2 killers, let's say, maybe not 1 killer, but 2 killers. There's a bit of a difference, but not, by very far, I know that, but it's 2 killers, metaphorically, right? And 4 or 5 survivors, 4 survivors. Like, the game has to, if you can fight back, I think the game would be overpowered for the survivors. If that was the case, the game would have to be developed that way. Like, the developers would be like, okay, we're putting in combat as a thing. We're gonna let the survivors defend themselves and maybe not take down the killer, or killers or whatever. But, beat them up, beat them down, I don't know, break a bat over them, something like that. I don't know, whatever weapons you find, you'd be able to break them over the killers' heads or whatever. Right? But you wouldn't be actually you wouldn't actually be killing them that way. Obviously that wouldn't work though, because, I mean, maybe it would because they're not superhuman. They don't have superhuman strength. Some of them probably do, but I mean, they're human beings, they're people. They're just cannibal people, like they're not like Jason Voorhees or Michael Myers, an unstoppable killing machine. It's just not like that. So maybe that's why the movie wasn't like that, where the survivors actually try and defend themselves and fight back. I mean, ambush the killer, for half the movie or whatever, not just at the end. Because you don't see much combat in the movie. There's basically no combat in the movie. I understand why it's not like that, but I also would have liked for it to be like that. But obviously the game is also based on a true story, so I guess you kind of have to think of it that way as well. I mean, in real life, if this sort of thing was to happen to you, then I don't think the first thing you would, I don't think the first thing that would come to your mind is fighting them and beating the crap out of them, right? You would want to run away in that situation. You would want to get out of the situation and try to avoid it, try and avoid dying or whatever. But, I mean, like, since, like, this is based on a true story, like, it's actually happened, decades ago, obviously they're basing the game on the movie. And the movie is based on what happened. So, yeah, I mean, fighting back, it's not going to happen. I mean, there might be a bit of combat in the game. I hope so, because like, if there's no combat in the game, if there's none whatsoever, then I don't know. I mean, that's just pointless in my opinion. But I'm gonna have to play it and find out. I won't really have much of a choice there. I'll just have to buy it, I guess, and just play it, see what I think of it. See if there's combat or whatever. To some degree, if it's good enough, then fair enough. But I think it might be stealth based, and the developers have mentioned that it's going to be mostly based on stealth, trying to get stuff done without the killer seeing you. I don't know if the killers are gonna have sensibilities. I don't think so. But I mean, they're human, so I don't think that's gonna happen. You know, it's not like they're Jason, right? They're not superhuman. They're not a superhuman zombie. So like coming back from the dead or whatever. So it's like they don't have superhuman strength. They're still humans. So having a sensibility wouldn't really make sense because nobody has a sensibility that works that way. You know, even in the game, it still has to be realistic to some degree. You know, it just kind of has to work that way with some games. It just kind of has to, yeah, it has to be like that on some level, or else it won't be taken seriously. Like, it just won't be considered realistic, like, you know. And I think that's what they're going with this game. They're gonna probably more likely make this game as realistic as possible as they can. I mean, I've seen what the trailer looks like. I mean, the graphics don't look, bad particularly, but I don't know if that's going to be gameplay footage. I think it's just to show off the trailer and the fact that the whole game has been confirmed. I think that's all that is. I don't think it's actual gameplay footage. I don't think that's going to happen in the game. Maybe it's going to be a cutscene in the game. And that's another thing. Are there going to be cutscenes in the game? Is it going to work like that? Where a cutscene happens at the start? I suppose it would have to, because Friday 13 has a cutscene, right? At the start, the intro, he burns the guy in the fire, or he snaps his neck, or something like that, or he throws a knife at him. Maybe Leatherface uses the chainsaw. I don't know. I mean, that's his weapon, right? So it just, I guess that would make sense for that to happen in a cutscene. But I've talked about a couple of things in this video already. They're kind of things that came to mind, and I just wanted to make this video for that reason. Hopefully you guys don't disagree with too many things I've been saying, and if I do happen to make another video regarding any more topics for this game that I think of, well, you guys will see it on my channel, right? I can't think of anything else, but for now, that wraps up this video, guys. And again, leave a like or dislike at the end of this video, and yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video to some degree. Because I try to make sense. I try to be fair with what I say. It's just opinions are opinions, guys. They work a lot of different ways. There's disagreements, there's agreements, but fair enough. Like, nobody has to fall out, nobody has to argue with each other about opinions. They're just opinions. Like, it's an opinion. They're opinions about a video game or a movie. It doesn't really matter. Just don't go tearing each other's heads off about it. It's just not necessary. Life is too short for any of that. This is just a video regarding some of the things that I would like to see in the game. I'm not saying they will happen, probably won't, in my opinion, because they seem a bit too, not unrealistic, just unlikely. But I would like to see them. It would be a nice treat, but I know it's not going to be another Friday 13th game. So, yeah. Let me know what you guys think this game will be like. And hopefully you guys enjoyed this video, okay? What are your theories? Leave them below in the comments. Anyway guys, this wraps up the video. Thank you very much for watching. We'll see you next time.